but never give up on something that you deeply love just because it doesn't bring you any money or recognition. It's your responsibility to stick to it. Hello everyone, I'm Rahul, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most important dimensions of our life, work. I think work is often the most overlooked aspect of our lives, though we think that we care too much about it, but that's not the case. If you will have a closer look at your life, you will find that our choice of work is really accidental. It's not conscious. In fact, we never question the criteria of choosing our work or profession. And some of us are working in the jobs that we do not like at all, something that does not align with our intrinsic nature. Still, we go on doing that job, and it is tremendously suffocating. So there must be a reason behind this whole chaos. And the reason is that right from the very childhood, we are being conditioned and forced by the society to pursue certain professions. And these professions are considered to be prestigious according to the social norm. So society forces us to pursue certain professions, and in that very pursuit, a lot of people simply strangle their individual potential and become victim to the social pressure. And once you become victim to the social pressure, which means that once you choose the profession because of some social pressure or because of some wrong motivation and intention, you are trapped in that job for the rest of your life. So in that context, work is an extremely delicate issue of our lives. Because if you're going to work 8 to 10 hours every single day for the rest of your life, it's more than half of your waking life. A carefully made choice will decide whether you're going to live the rest of your life trapped like a prisoner, or you will do something meaningful and creative with it. So I will use Khalil Gibran's timeless insights on work to explain the delicate questions and issues related to work. The first question that we are going to address is, what should drive you to work? Often we are driven by some extrinsic motivation, be it money, fame, success, but let's find out what is the right driving force according to Khalil Gibran. Gibran says, work is love made visible. And what is it to work with love? It is to weave the cloth with threads drawn from your heart, even as if your beloved were to wear that cloth. Gibran is keeping it very simple. He's saying that one must work for the love of it, period. So love should be the driving force. Imbibe these words. Work is love made visible. The irony is that a lot of people treat their work as a burden, a tiresome activity that they need to undergo in order to earn some end reward. And the end reward could be anything: money, success, fame. And people are so deeply attached to these end rewards that even if they hate their job, they are willing to push themselves to work hard so that they can get these end rewards. So people consider their work as a means to an end. They have a transactional relationship with their work. Gibran says that your work should be an expression of your love. You should pour your whole heart into it. Your work should not feel like a duty that you're obliged to do. Your work should come from the very depth of your heart. When you work from a very deep space of love, a merger is bound to happen between work and reward. And in that very merger, work in itself becomes the reward. So when there is pure love, you do not expect anything in return. You do not have a transactional relationship with your beloved. You just love for the love's sake. So Gibran is saying this quality of love is needed in your work. When you love what you're doing, you're not greedy, you're not ambitious, you're not seeking to become famous. The very love of what you're doing is sufficient in itself. You do not need anything else. Yes, money is needed to survive, but even if you do not earn a lot of money, you're fine with it. You do not make your income the central issue of your life. The central issue of your life should remain working with love. According to Khalil Gibran, this should be the criteria. Working with love should be the highest priority in your life. Why? Because working with love gives you far, far greater joy than earning a lot of money or becoming famous. I would say that initially, if you're not earning any money by doing what you really love to do, you should pursue it. You should find ways and means to support it. You can ask for financial help from your family members or friends. You can try to earn money through some other medium, But never give up on something that you deeply love just because it doesn't bring you any money or recognition. It's your responsibility to stick to it. And I can vouch for it that eventually you are not going to regret this decision of yours. And I know at this point a lot of you will say that this is a very impractical advice. We have to live in the real world. I will address this issue of practicality, but first let's try to listen to a very beautiful piece of advice by J. Krishnamurti to a small child.
You learn a great deal if you're really humble. But if you're merely seeking success, money, power, position, status, you understand? Then you're beginning with corruption. You might be poor. Be poor. Who cares? That's why it's important for you, for all of you, to find your own talent and stick to it, even though it doesn't bring you success, fame and all that, which is all nonsense anyhow, because we're all going to die. You understand, old boy? While you live, live.
Now what do you think about J. Krishnamurti's advice? Is it practical? In my opinion, it is the most practical advice. If you take into account the whole picture, the big picture of life, then you realize that you are here for a brief while. You will live for a few more decades, and that too if you are lucky enough. Doesn't it make sense to do something that you deeply love for the rest of your life? It makes sense. It is the most practical advice. Destroying your life for money, fame, recognition seems to be the most impractical advice. But the impracticality always wins in our society. Because in our society, practicality means following the crowd, following the herd. And we are so frightened to move out of this social structure because we think that everyone will just disown us. We want to be a part of this society, even if it is torturous, even if it is painful. And all I want to say is that it is very, very easy to step out of this stupid structure of the society and do something that makes sense to you. Do something that seems practical to you. All it takes is just a very small shift in your value system. If today you value success, money and fame, thinking about it, contemplating over it, you can shift this value system and you can say to yourself that I value love for my work more than anything else. And I want to tell you that till the time your value system will not change, you cannot pursue the love of your life. You will just become victim to the social pressure. So the only thing that you need to do is you have to constantly ask yourself every single day that what do I value more? Is it love for my work or something else? The day you can say to yourself honestly that I value love for my work more than anything else, that very day a love affair happens. You get the strength and courage to follow your love, to pursue it, even if it doesn't bring you any money. That very day your work becomes your prayer. Lastly, I just want to say that my intention is not to influence you so that you give up on your job right away. I'm sure you're not going to do it. My only intention is to make you question the value system in your life, to make you question what is practical in your life. I want you to introspect, contemplate, and find out what is the right value, what seems to be practical, and stick to it. That's it.